Welcome back, Nick Lenz's novel review. This is episode number 29. I know I promised a Doctor Who book to review, but time-wise, basically, I had to read this book because this was due really soon. Okay? It's a Star Trek book. Star Trek Legacies, Book 2, Best Defense by David Mack. This book takes place 6 weeks after the events of the previous novel, Captain to Captain. Historical note basically takes place 1 month, also 1 month after Journey to Babel, and 1 week after the episode Obsession. Now, Journey to Babel is a very famous episode which introduced the character of Sarek and Amanda Gray's son, Spock's parents, and of course talk about the surgery thing. Yeah, they talk about his heart. They talk about his heart surgery a few times in the novel, and at the beginning of the novel, it's like 1 week after the events of the episode Obsession. Now, Obsession is more of like a horror episode in a way, where Kirk is basically getting vengeance over a vampiric cloud that apparently kills people. And it's explained in the episode when Kirk was on the Farragut, when he encountered the cloud the first time, it killed half the crew, including the captain. And there's some hesitation. Now, there's references to the beginning, but after that, they only mention Journey to Babel a lot. And of course, there's a whole thing with the episode Errand of Mercy. There's reference to that here too. So you get references to about 3 episodes in here, which is good. And you have Captain Una pretty much picking up like right where she was last seen in the previous book, going to this alternate universe, and she actually finds her crew, the crewmates that she said she was going to find. But during the course of this novel, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but Chancellor Gorgon, who by the way is, and it's kind of weird that this novel takes place in 2267, and the fact he dies exactly 26 years late, 26 after the story is finished. Now, I don't think that the writers are going to kill off Gorgon now. It'd be kind of dumb. Otherwise, though, why in the world would it be killing off in Star Trek 6? Now, a lot of times the continuity for these novels tend to contradict each other a lot over the years, but I have noticed that novels that have come out from 2001 up until very recently have been pretty consistent, and they don't try to create plot holes. As far as I can tell, nope, they don't kill off important characters who actually are in the movies. Sarek disappears too in the novel, along with the military advisor to the Federation. I don't know who he is, he's just a character I've never seen before. And Dr. McCoy's daughter's in here, Joanna McCoy, who would later on explain that she's actually 19. Which, okay, she's a young girl. But they don't give exactly a description exactly what she's supposed to look like, because, for one thing, she has never been featured on the show. She's been referenced now and again on the original TV show. Now, this novel is set in the continuity of the original TV series from the 60s, not the J.J. Abrams books, the movies. As a matter of fact, the only books that actually take place in the continuity of the J.J. Abrams films is the Starfleet Academy series, the one that was that came out a few years ago. That one takes place in that continuity. When it comes to stuff set in that continuity, aside of the movies, is just the comic books, which they don't contract the movies at all. And it's kind of a different swing in a way, where that the novels follow the original continuity, while the comics, novels follow the original continuity, and the comics follow the movie continuity, the Kelvin timeline. But the planet from the previous novel, which is the first one they mentioned, Unicide, it's only seen in this novel very briefly. They're in there for like 1 chapter, and then they're back to this planet called Crispus, I think it's called. It's a Federation planet, and they're having the peace talks at the New Athens University on that kind of thing. And there's actually a full chapter detailing the talks, which some people are probably curious exactly what is in the Organia Peace Treaty. And you kind of see exactly start of it anyways, but it gets interrupted because of the Romulans. Yeah, they're the ones who actually showed up at the end of the previous novel. That was actually a bit of a surprise. A bit of a surprise, but not really a big one, because the Romulans were actually a really big threat during this particular era. though they somehow stopped being that for a good 50 years, according to Next Generation, basically after the events of Nature Zone, they started become a threat again. But here, they're still a threat. Um, basically, the Romulan who showed up in the previous novel, I won't spoil exactly the end of the book, but she gets taken care of. Never brought up again. I mean, there's nothing really much to the character, except that she was an agent of Tal Shiar. I will spoil that. Yeah, it's revealed at the end of the previous novel. She was an agent of Tal Shiar, and really her name was not Lisa Bates, but Major Shurat of the Tal Shiar. And she's in a good chunk of this novel. As a matter of fact, there's certain points in this novel where it focuses on several places. Like this focus on Sarek, focus on Joanna McCoy, a little bit focus on Dr. McCoy. Pretty much everybody gets something to do in this novel, and I do mean everybody. There's even a murder investigation. This is really exciting, and it is something, though, that every single person gets a chance to do something. I think the only person who does not do something in this novel is probably Sulu. For one thing, he's never seen, like, when you read the novel, he never gets off the bridge. I mean, Chekhov and Hura gets to actually do something. But as for Sulu, nope. It's kind of the reverse way it was with the book Weight of Worlds, where pretty much almost everybody except for Chekhov is in that novel. This one, it's kind of the opposite. Everybody but Sulu gets a chance to do something. I mean, they actually seen her off the bridge. I mean, Dr. McCoy is in this book frequently. It's great to see Sarek again in this novel. This novel is just super. I give it a 10 out of 10. It's awesome. I highly recommend it, plus the first book. The third book I'm going to read really soon, but I'm going to read a couple trades first. Then I'm going to read a Doctor Who book, then I'm going to read book 3. Okay? 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. Oh, it's called The Best Events. Okay? So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for next episode, which definitely will be a Doctor Who novel. Okay? So until then, I will see you there. Bye.